Ladies and gentlemen, one thing that has been really consistent through the vaccines is the Black community not showing up for these shots. And they have tried everything, showing you Black doctors and nurses getting shots and famous people, and it just doesn't seem to work. Well, it's America's past scars that have cost them. Now, you're not going to see us show up in big numbers. And when you look at some of the recent stories, what difference does it make? You got people that got two jabs and they're coming up positive for coronavirus weeks later. So I don't see how you're so much better off with this thing than without. Number two, I have a lot of subscribers that have friends and family members that took the shots, and weeks later, they died. And I'm starting to see a lot of consistency in that as well. So those are not really good things to motivate a group of people to get a shot. The mistrust has gone on for decades, for centuries, really. But for decades, the medical industry, a lot of mistreatment has been going on. They don't believe our pain is real. They don't believe that we need medicines like people in other communities need meds. It's been ongoing problems. And those problems still exist today. Remember, Dr. Susan Moore had COVID, had problems breathing, and the doctor treating her denied her and dismissed how she felt, and she ended up dying. So that's far from over. We have never seen this thing end. So yeah, now you want to know why we're not showing up? Go look at your history. Instead of arguing back and forth, was just go look at your damn history. You caused this. This didn't come from us. So a lot of people are terrified, not only about the pandemic, but even the vaccine. So we know they came out last year, December, they started rolling these shots out. From day one, we saw problems. First day, I think, didn't they do two nurses and both had to be rushed to the emergency room? I mean, it's just been horrible. And then we see, look, listen, y'all, not 1 week has gone by where people died after getting the shot. Not 1 week has gone by that we did not see a death or we heard about people getting sick, or we heard about people getting the jab and they are down and out for a week or two. We keep hearing these stories over and over, but when these stories come out, this mainstream news keep trying to tell us this is rare and go get the shot. I don't think you're supposed to see something every single week and it's still considered rare. I don't believe that, okay? But this is what they're trying to put out there. So concerns about the virus have left some in the Black community entirely unwilling to take the vaccine, while others have said they want to wait and see how the first wave of vaccines distribution is handled, which is not good. I tell you what, just looking at this first wave, it looks horrible. And remember, America's number one in the entire world with COVID. And this is happening with a country full of high IQ people. Way to go, America. Way to go. So when those concerns come up, I look at my patients. This is a doctor talking, and I say, I understand. I've read studies myself, and my job is to protect you, and I will not do you wrong. All right. So this is a doctor by the name of James, a family physician who is also an assistant professor at the University of Illinois College of Medicine. I don't respond with writing them off or irrational, and he says he tried not to come off irrational or ignorant. He really does understand. As a result of these conversations with the patient, I am already seeing the writing on the wall that we are not prepared to roll this vaccine out to vulnerable communities. In this, Dr. James, who co-founded the Institute of Anti-Racism in Medicine earlier this year, I feel I am scaring into a void and trying to get people to understand that I can see that this will fail if we continue to do what we normally do with distribution over the past several months as infections, hospitalizations, and deaths from COVID 19 continue to rise across the country. It is having the harshest effect on the Black community, which I'm not believing, James, only because y'all keep telling us it's disproportionate, but you show us no numbers. Where's the raw numbers? If somebody is saying this is disproportionate, well, somebody got to be the keeper of the numbers. Why are you holding back on numbers we've been asking for going on a year? Hard to believe you when you won't show numbers. So, anyway, let's move on. By almost every metric, be it increase unemployment, diminish academic performance, or exposure to pre existing conditions that put a person at higher risk of getting sick. The virus and its economic fallout have often, it really affects everybody. It really has. It really has. Now, in my state, y'all, there was a story that came out, and I might do this story on Premiere. It was a man in a town not far from where I am, and he lost 4 family members within a year. 4 family members. And he is telling the story. And this is real. And there was another family in my state, but this was last year. I would say like around spring of last year. Within a month period of time, 7 people from one family died of COVID. 7 people. And that was also in my state. So these things are happening. It's more common than uncommon. Okay, generations of experimentation on Black Americans and dismissal at the hands of medical professionals have left many skeptical of the medical field and wary of taking a vaccine, something that just half of Black poll respondents have said they are willing to do. Is part of a cycle of distrust in medicine that both Black medical providers say both completely warranted and deeply concerning. It is not paranoia. It is not that Black people don't get it or simply uneducated and unintelligent about their health. The reality is that they worry, have been earned. Yes, it has, and will not be corrected until medicine and public health and the government reckon with the past and what it has done to Black people. Now, as a country deals with another deadly wave of coronavirus, Black doctors and medical providers are taking key roles in doing something they said should have been done decades ago. Work to build trust in medicine in Black communities and acknowledge past harms. But increasing confidence in vaccines is just one part of the process. They say they must continue for years. But Black medical providers say they are not shocked at our reaction. They are not shocked. Polling of Black Americans revealed that months into the pandemic, there continues to be deep distrust of potential vaccine efforts. A September survey of Black and Latino respondents published by the COVID Collaborative, the NAACP, and Unidose US found that while 55% of Black respondents knew someone who had been diagnosed with COVID 19, just 14% said they believe that a future vaccine would be safe. That's pretty low. I mean, think about all of us, only 14% out of the Black community believe that the vaccine will be safe in the future. Wow. And only 18% believe the vaccine would be effective. That's pretty low. It's pretty low. A December poll from the Pew Research Center found that 71% of Black respondents knew someone who had been hospitalized or died of COVID 19. Fewer than half of Black Americans polled would get the vaccine. The medical providers These numbers are stark, but not surprising. We saw early on the vaccine acceptance and willingness to enroll in vaccine clinical trials was going to be a major challenge. And this is Dr. Reed Tuckerson, a former public health commissioner in Washington, D.C., and the leader of the Black Coalition Against COVID-19, a DC based effort to spread information about the virus and potential vaccines to Black Americans. Over the past several months, the coalition has worked with a number of Washington community organizations, historically Black colleges and universities, and community leaders to share information both locally and nationally about COVID-19 prevention, and drafted a public love letter to Black America that calls for people to be open to vaccines when they are available. Well, good luck with that. Good luck with your letter, too. I doubt if many will take to heart what you are doing because, like I said, they do the damage and then move on. Do the damage and then move on. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. This is why you're getting the results that you're looking at now. America has never been big with dealing with their problems or facing their past, and they're going to continue to be this way, y'all. They're not going to stop doing this. And their thing is, well, that happened a long time ago. Just get the shot. Well, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. That distrust is deep. It's centuries, years old, and it hasn't been broken yet. And no, your word is no good. It's no good. You can't babble some mess to us and then we just go do something. Those days are done. I wouldn't hold my breath waiting on that if I were you. Things have changed. America is a very different country now. It really is. You can't even do the same thing that you did in 2019 and 2021. What you're really going to have to do is learn and accept that you're going to have to live with COVID, whether you like it or not. This is one virus that's not going to go away. It's not going to go away just like your cold and flu never went away. This is going to be here to stay as well. Learn how to coexist with it. Plain and simple. You're not going to have no other choice. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.